What's going on? My name's Tim. This is the Corvus Cast, and I have to start it all off with an apology. And most of it has to do with some kind of technical glitch that has prevented me from being able to live stream. And so, for whatever reason, I'm a lot better on a live stream than I am on a recording. I have no idea how that is. I guess it's just the like one take nature of it that's a lot more fun to get through. And because honestly, to tell you the truth, it's taking me a couple of takes to get through this. And so I'm just not that good at recording things as much as I am just doing it off the cuff and handling it. So I'm trying to treat this as a live stream the best that I can. And so the apologies will be one, I'm sorry for the short cast this week. I'm probably going to try and keep this to like 30 minutes. I'm just going to brush on the top layer. And so the interaction level is going to be kind of low. There's a lot of frustration for me right now with how this is working and why it has failed. Because I have no idea what happened or what changed, but some setting changed in Meta Business that is not letting me access my Facebook page and send or not send but transmit live streams. It's just blocking me from doing anything. And so while I'm working on figuring it out, this is the best that I've got. So I do apologize for the shifting times and the constant string of excuses. It's just been trying, sitting here for several hours a night, trying to figure out why this is not working, and just not, it's just not happening. And then two, for the energy level, it's really late here at night while I'm trying to figure this stuff out. My kids are sleeping, and I'm trying not to get super angry. And so this cast is going to be really low key. My energy level is down, just because it feels like I've been taking hits left and right and not recouping that energy. And so I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to have fun and trying to keep you guys engaged with what's going on. Also, my voice is really ragged because it's the end of the day, so I apologize for the sound quality of my voice. And so I'll keep water on board and keep on trucking along the best that I can here, right? And so going forward, I just wanted to touch on the holiday season is upon us, and if you aren't aware, we busted through a lot of the Thanksgiving season, had a lot of great performance out of sales. So I really appreciate everybody coming out and picking stuff up for the Black Friday, or excuse me, for the Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, that sale. I really appreciate everybody contributing and helping out with that and making it as big as it was for us this year, our first year doing something like that. Um, the next sale coming up is going to be the Christmas sale, and I've kind of waffled back and forth on whether I want to put it in during Christmas, but I think that it's a disservice to you as a customer putting it in before Christmas, or excuse me, putting it in around Christmas, because now you're splitting your time between your families and buying parts from me, and I don't want you to do that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and launch that sale earlier rather than later, and I'm going to fire it off basically from the, I guess, 15th to the 21st, leading right into Yule, and so everybody can have a really cool Merry Sithmas and not have to worry about buying things. And then immediately following Christmas, we'll go into a New Year sale, and so we'll give everybody like a week's break from all the discounts and stuff, just so you can spend time with your family and not staring at my website pining for my parts. But like the really hot ticket items that I wanted to talk about this week was, or excuse me, for this cast before we get too far, is what I have that's moved from development into production, and then what I have in development going forward into the new year. And so there's some stuff that I'm going to keep close to vest, and some things that I really wanted to work on and keep tight because I want it to be kind of a surprise when it drops. But the items that you can see on the screen. And I'll go ahead and shift over here and show you that. I realize that I've been talking with half a screen, and I'm probably not going to fix it. So let me just minimize this, my face just a little bit more, and we'll drop over here into this piece really fast. I'm going to move the mic, so I apologize if there's a little bit of sound, and also that I haven't gotten a boom to slide my mic across to my face when I need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and reposition all the stuff that I need really quickly, and we'll jump into this. And so normally I would do this with gloves on my hand, and so I apologize that you're going to see my janky fingers, but here we go. So on the screen here, you got three new parts that we got developed for this, which is basically extensions of the accent rings. And so you have this beveled piece, which is kind of a flush mounted one. I am going to put those gloves on really quick, so just bear with me, so you don't have to see my fingers all jacked up. Um, so there's two designs, or excuse me, three designs total. Two designs with this beveled top end on them, or beveled end on them, and I have that purposely set on opposite ends, right? So this one here has the bevel on the outside edge of it, where it connects to the part, and this one here has the bevel on the this one here has the bevel on the inside edge, so it creates a hard edge on whichever end of whichever part you end up putting it on. And so I'm using this 80 millimeter, 80 millimeter female body segment as the analog for a grip, just to give you a look at what each of these would look like on either end. And so you can see this end has the bevel on the outside, this end has the bevel on the inside. It also has the recess inside of it to accept the majority of the male parts that I've got. So like any adapter and any of the male parts will fit onto this, so that you get really good connection and seating for those pieces in between. And this would flip over if you had another part adjacent to it that would be acceptable. This is actually the first part that I have where the shim-cert is flush to the top edge. It doesn't have a recess to it. That's purposeful design and intentional. I wanted to be able to have it to where that bevel touched right up against it, and I'll explain that in just a second. And so when I compare these two kind of side by side, you can see the size of the bevel here is pretty significant. The difference between the two bevels on them is different, and that was done as an intentional design choice, right? Because the lesser material, I guess, a smaller amount of material between the edge of the bevel here and the edge of the bevel here, because that goes basically all the way up to the shim-cert portion. Sorry, I'm pulling it forward, and I should be pulling it back. It goes almost all the way up to the shim-cert portion, and that was a conscious effort on my part to make sure that there were two designs that had bevels, and one of them had just enough difference, to be significant. And so I really like how they came out. The insets are really nice. It's kind of hard to make out on the screen, so I'm going to bring it up real nice and close. This has a two-banded inset on it, and this one just has a simple square inset on it. And I was really waffling on whether or not I liked this, and the response that I received from the Discord was relatively good, and so I decided to keep it without changing it to anything else. And then there might be another design later on that revises it or expands on it or something like that. And then the third piece here is one of my favorites. I really like this one because it is very, very similar to a Graflex design, and so I'm planning to start incorporating more of these embellishments on some of the parts going forward, so that we start to get, I guess, what looks a little bit more traditionally like Star Wars, or something that's more Swarzy. This has a Graflex aesthetic to it, which I'm really, really fond of. I love the Graflex designs, and I love the looks that they get out of them, and I love what people embellish their lightsaber designs with kind of this stuff. And so I have a grip section with an electronics package attached to it, so forgive me for the clunkiness of this inside of this space, but I wanted to show you what this looked like as it attached to a part and why I'm so happy with it, why I think that it looks so good. When you put that on the bottom of a switch, it really just almost completes a design. It looks like it's meant to be there, and I'm really quite taken by how good that looks. I think it's pretty awesome. And this, honestly, this can go anywhere. You can put this band back down here on the bottom. I have a couple of rings that are just happen to be adjacent to me, close to me, and I can throw this on, and you can see how that would look in a lower position, as if it was down by the pommel. You can put like a basic pommel in there, or some such to give it another look. Or you could put two of these bands together on the top and make it, like two accent rings on it, as opposed to just one of those rings. But when it comes to expanding an accent ring line, I think that these are a really nice choice, because it has a lot more material to it, and it gives it a more robust look to it. And once I start combining these things together on the saber, this has a lot of heft to it, and I really like that. It makes it feel like it's a real saber and one that's in universe, right? And so what I'll do here really quick is I'll just take these apart and drop a couple of these other items on here just to give you a look at what they would look like if they were on the same component. And that doesn't look bad. This is with the bevels pointed this direction towards the emitter end of it. Excuse me, my voice is failing very quickly now. So this puts the bevels on the emitter end of the grip segment, and you can see there what that would look like if you combine the two of these pieces together. I think it looks really good. They're about the same length. They just look a little bit different because of that bevel. And a solid choice all the way around. The only problem, the only issue with this one here is that it's going to be a little bit harder to incorporate this one somewhere in the middle. And I'm going to try and give you a look at that here just 1 second while I grab a couple of small parts to mess around with really fast. So pardon the noise while I move some things. I got a 50 millimeter here, and I'm going to use it as if I'm putting kind of some of these pieces together as a whole component really quick. Just to give you an idea on what it might look like if you were to try and build a smaller, like a grip segment that had, segmentation to it, that pulled pieces in and out in different designs. So this is the 50 millimeter, and this is a 30 millimeter, and the what the heck is it? The Type 2? Yeah, the male Type 2, and I haven't screwed that fully in just because I didn't really want to, but you can kind of see you can use these parts now to make some cool segmentation and crenellation in between the parts. And that's a little overwrought, right? That's a little busy looking considering the designs, but I just want to kind of show, like, if you had a couple of these ones, you could, a couple of this middle design, you could flip-flop them on either end and have cool separation in between two pieces of grip, and put this up on the top or put it down on the bottom, wherever, honestly, wherever you wanted to put it, just to make an interesting kind of grip combination design. You can even put multiples of these together, and eventually my plan is to have even longer ones, like even longer versions of these, where it will have a bevel on this end and a bevel on this end, and so you'll get that entire piece as one sleeve eventually. So we're looking at expanding that into a 50 and even 80 and 105 millimeter segments, so that you get the full treatment of these sleeves as they are captured between the parts. And I think that they're going to be really cool additions once we get them going. Really excited about that and where this is going to go. So the more that I mess around with it, the more that I find new combinations that I hadn't really thought of or hadn't really worked on or messed with too much. So let me see if I can find another combination here really quick. There, I'm putting two of these pieces back together, and we'll bring it back down here really quick. Flip the ends over wrong. And again, like I said, a little overwrought. There's a little bit too much going on there, but it's going to take some people doing some porging to figure out what the extent of combinations of these parts are going to be and how they all fit together. And I haven't honestly done a lot of work in the other spaces that I've got. So like, I haven't done a lot of work with the other like VHC components to see how they compare with some of the parts. It's all just been playing around with my section of parts over here on this side, just to get some designs out there and start playing around, right? So let me get these separated back out, and we'll go ahead and transition back over to the screen. And so my goal there with those, my desire is that everybody just use them and make all the cool in-depth builds that you possibly can with them, because I'm really happy with what I've seen so far, and I know that the people in the murder and the people in the Discord there will not disappoint with what they're capable of bringing out. And so I guess I can pull up Fusion 360 and show you what the next part that I want to work on and get into dev is. And I've kind of held off for the end of the year just because it's the end of the year and give my manufacturer a rest for what they've got going on. And I guess that's probably a bad idea for me because it takes my foot off the gas. But to be honest with you, it's been breakneck speed, and I need some time to regroup and gather myself back together. So this is not a Let's Design session. This is wholly a just I'm going to show you what is going on. And so I want to grab one part out of here, and I'm going to grab one part that I have in dev currently, and or actually two parts, I guess. We'll pull a couple more parts into this space and look at them really quick. And so I've had these parts that I'm pulling out right now in design for quite a long time. It's probably been over a year that I've had this particular part. I've done a couple of revisions and adjustments to them just to get a different look at it. And I'm not really super happy with the design, right? I think that they do what they're supposed to do, and from a utilitarian perspective, they will work. They will do the thing, but they're not like super elegant. And so I'm not super happy with the design. And so this last week I went in and started playing around with the design. Stand by one second. I started playing around with a design that distilled the male coupler down into like the barest essential that you can possibly fit, right? And that design is this piece right here, which is a 8-hole male cog, and basically it just condenses it down and makes it into something that I think looks okay from a Star Wars perspective. It has an 8-spoke cog, and it also kind of aligns neatly with my Crow cog from Corvus Foundry, which I really like and adore. But the outer diameter on this one is like 32.5, and I wanted it to be a little bit less than the 33 millimeter diameter, just so it gives some more vertical variation to the parts that we're producing. But I think that the output in this is going to be really nice. It's going to work really well for what we want to do with it, and it gives you the option. And because I think that these bands are just kind of a ham-fisted way of getting that execution done. I'm not particularly fond of them, and to be completely honest with you, I don't like seeing them in my builds. And the only reason that I'm providing an 8-hole band like this is so that people have that functionality and availability to them. And so I thought that it would be smart if I designed it in such a way that you could hide it inside of one of the accent rings. And so I'll just show you what that looks like, so that it, of course, I have to unground it from the parent because of that one design that Fusion 360 released a couple months ago. Sorry, my voice is starting to fade, so I'm trying to wrap this up. But anyways, I made it such that you can almost fully hide this underneath of one of these accent ring bands. I'm just trying to get it to catch at the 28. There we go. So it can hide underneath of the depth of an accent ring and be fully covered, so you wouldn't see it if you didn't want to see it. And you just have to think ahead a little bit in your design schemes. Of course, you can hide it under anything else, but that would lose your access to the actual function of that band, just so that you can hide it, and so if you're it would be perfect for putting on like shrouds, because if you put on like a half body shroud, you're going to cover at least half of this up, so it would be kind of neat, interesting under that shroud to look at. But I just thought that it would be a smart play to provide a means of covering or concealing it. I've always been a fan of keeping the outside look on my sabers clean, so that you wouldn't know how or where a blade attaches or how components attach. I just think that it makes for a much more polished design and something that's inside of the scope of the universe, right? So like you can't really tell how the blades attach for the items that you see in the trilogy. and so it's always had that kind of wonder attached to, like, oh wow, they really did something cool with that. It's just obviously coming out of the hilt, how they did the rotoscope, but um, the for me, verisimilitude and immersion is important, and not seeing where my blade's attached to the saber is one small little thing that makes my makes my immersion that much better, where I can hide stuff like this. And so that's been my goal, is to make something that looks professional and looks clean and looks like it would exist inside of the universe, without having too much attaching stuff to it. Granted, the shrouds that I make are designed to be universal, but I really am looking at outcomes that are clean, and don't belie the fact that they are, a modern modern out of universe solution to something that should be an in universe consideration. And so, this is one of the ones that I'm interested in getting produced relatively quickly. So I haven't gotten a quote on this yet, but excuse me. Once I finish the final design here, I just have a couple more steps to take to get it cleaned up. This was kind of a hasty design. I have only one of the holes threaded. The rest of them are just flat, clean holes. I'll get it over for quote, and we'll look at what it's going to take to get it produced. And the reason why these rings haven't been produced yet to this point is because the price on the rings were just a little bit higher than I wanted them to be. And I presume that this ring will probably be pretty close to this, so it'd be a single production item, and then we'll consider what this ring, what the female portion of that ring looks like in the near future. Everybody's been calling for the male version. Sorry, making a mess of myself. So anyway, that's the next part that we're looking at going, kind of going forward, starting the new year off, I guess we'll say. It wouldn't be one that we submit and then get produced immediately right now, like some of these other items have been, but it can be in the very near future. And so I guess I'm going to leave off with that. That's going to be the cast. It's been a week of extreme frustration for me getting this all set up so that we can do a cast and get something out and produced. And so I will diligently work over the course of the next week here while I'm getting the discounts for Sithmas out, and we'll go forward from here, hopefully with a fix. And if it's not going to work for Facebook, then I'll probably switch the cast to live, or I'll switch the cast into the Discord, and that way people can watch in the Discord and hopefully come and join and see what's going on. And that will do a couple of things. It might increase numbers, it might increase viewership in the Discord, or it just might ostracize me completely. I don't know. It's probably a bad idea, but everybody's welcome on the Discord and all that stuff. But anyways, like I said, my name's Tim. I'm going to sign off for now. It's time for me to go to bed, and I'll get this posted up as soon as I can. Caw-caw! See you guys later. Thank you.